Welcome to BRITAM Money Moves, powered by BRITAM Easy Earner. I'm Flavia, and we are giving you the path of, yes, you're making the money, saving the money, investing the money, and then maintaining the money. But the conversation shouldn't just be about I get a job, I make money, I invest it, because there's so many things around your life that will determine all of these parts of life. So we've already discussed the basics of money with Marjorie in episode 1. Last week, you watched Anita talk to us about passion, your talents, your skills, the things you can do, how you can monetize them, and at all levels. But I wanted us to talk about that thing when we say, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I am broke, I am poor. And you never really know these terms. And someone says you can maybe be describing yourself as rich. But after COVID, we all started to scale back because you realized, I have this, but I don't have this. I have assets, but I don't have liquidity. So we might have no meal tomorrow, but have lots of plots of land, So you need to understand how to make this work. And no other better person than someone I know who's really charted the path without the noise, without the distraction, to build what wealth is and also generational wealth. So we'll have this conversation in two ways. One, describing that, your journey to being, is it rich or is it wealthy, and the difference. And then part two, we'll also discuss the generation. You've had a family. First of all, discussing it as a couple. Then the children who come in, how do you integrate them in the money, in the wealth, in the business, in the assets that you have. I have Amos Wekesa, who is the founder of Great Lake Safaris. But I feel like that never really describes you, Amos. You're entrepreneur, you're a change maker, you're influencer, you're the real influencer. Forget us. You're the real
People don't pay me
influencer.
for influencing, so
We need to start paying you.
I know. I'm going to talk to Humphrey.
Yes, because when you have the conversations, they move. That's what an influencer
my
is.
guys.
That's an influencer, Amos. If you talk, people follow. That's
Thank
it.
you, thank you.
How are you?
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. We are grateful. We're still, functional as businesses. We have had very tough 4 years, and 4 tough years because of COVID, and Ebola, and Mpox, and terrorism attacks potentials.
Yeah.
So as a business, it has shown us resilience,
Yeah, and for those who might be watching from anywhere in the world, his business is around travel at all facets of the process of travel, which is why he would say he's affected by COVID. And he's not someone who would have stopped at COVID, but for you, you're factoring in everything.
Yes.
Ebola, elections, anything happens that can deter anyone coming into the country or visiting affects your business.
Absolutely. I mean, if someone says there is a potential for a terrorist attack, what that simply means is that then the embassies create what they call a travel advisories.
Yes.
Then the travel advisories affect the travel insurance. Because you see, travel insurance will not work in a place which has certain names, certain risks. So as a country, I mean, Uganda is extremely very safe country. But I think our biggest challenge as a country is how we handle information. We've not understood the value of communicating right. Uganda is one of the most resilient, most peaceful country, actually. Uganda is extremely very good people in many aspects. We may have our own problems like any other country. But I would rather be in Kampala, for example, than be in New York. Yeah, that's for sure. I would rather be in Kampala than be in Amsterdam.
Bumper to bumper, shoulder to shoulder, I don't think I can do it. New York, it's almost like you want to tell a person, why are you hitting me? No, everybody, that's how they're moving.
Absolutely, but anybody can pull out a gun anytime. In Kampala, chances that one person will pull out a gun, it will be out of 1 million. There! 1 out of 10 guys.
And for any reason.
Can look at you and doesn't like you. Hammers you,
And you're gone. But, it's I think, different in nature, because today we see the Amos, and I mean, I've been privy to your story, I know it, but when people see the success today, it's easy, and I think we spoke about it last week when I had my guest who was saying that people see your business thrive at this point, and they forget the 10, 15 years before. As Ugandans, we just don't like the process. We don't like the journey.
No.
We want the end and want it to be justified anyhow. But when you're building, whether it's wealth, because I'm wary of saying people are rich, because also rich is relative.
Yeah.
You were the one who was saying the other day that you didn't have a house until...
I've actually never used the word rich in my life. It's people who assume. No, I don't think I am.
They assume.
Yes. I have never in my life said, I feel rich.
Yes.
No.
But have you felt rich?
But it's also because, no, I feel I can look after myself.
Yes.
I feel like there's an impact.
Okay.
If you ask me what my worth is, I don't know. Which is not a bad thing.
Okay.
But I'm also well exposed to what wealth means.
Yes.
When you think about tour companies in Kenya and Tanzania, if I went to Kenya, for example, today, I would never be among the top 500 tour operators in Kenya.
If at all, you'd be mid, otherwise you'd just be at starter level.
Absolutely, because you have over 50 companies in Kenya in tourism that make between $50 million to $150 million a year.
Imagine that.
And just because we are poor here, when we see someone...
Our version of rich is, I get you.
Absolutely.
It's a car and, you know, a few things.
But what I must appreciate today is what can make me or make us as a business proud is we made very many good decisions many years ago. We bought very good locations cheaply. We went early. So we have a lot of wealth in property, in raw property and stuff like that as a business across the country. Now we've gone to Tanzania. We have 4 areas we're going to develop in Tanzania. One is just opening end of this month. I think we've reached a stage where we're now ready to take off. So my next 10 years is now getting to saying, yes, we're growing well.
You're saying getting ready to take off, whereas somebody's looking at you and thinking, if I can just do 4% of what Great Lakes is doing. So it brings me to the conversation of goals, because ideally, we can all sit here and have businesses, but my desires for where my business will go are different from yours. I could reach a certain stage and feel like, this is good. We have made enough money. Whereas you're still entering markets, you're still creating, you know, gaps and everything. So did you know from the beginning that Great Lakes would supersede you even as an individual?
No, I think starting off a business for me was out of, you know, hunger. I can't survive. It was basically that's why I started a business. And actually it got me frustrated at one point, because I remember when things were very hard, I could finish a whole year without affording meat.
A year?
Yeah. I've gone to get crash a wedding in order to eat meat. That's how it was.
But you have a business?
No, I was working for other guys. That poverty of saying, why am I so poor?
Right.
That I can't afford to eat meat and stuff like that. Then it pushes you to start a business.
Yes.
So when you start a business, at one point, we struggled. If business struggles,
to pick up.
I think many business people at many points of their lives, I'm sure even you reach a stage where you want even to resign from your own job. You're thinking,
like, this is not
why am I doing this? So anyway, I think there was a time we reached, and I think I remember many years ago, I had $50,000 on my account. Things I graved for, like meat, I didn't like.
In fact, you're now eating vegetables.
Yeah, I know.
I know what you mean.
I wanted meat when I didn't have.
Yes.
Things I wanted. Today I drive a 24-year-old car. I can't sit there and fathom myself. I'm not bothered about certain things in my life. But I got so confused, and I think many people reach that stage. And that's why when you are not guided, when you have reached a stage of takeoff, the first stage of takeoff, there's many stages of takeoffs. That's why you find a person is living in a flat, but he has 5 cars. You find a guy...
When you first get a taste of money, you must be guided. Because that first test is what determines how your lifestyle, your habits will then form.
Yeah, I've done a lot of mentorship, and I've seen young people, and I mentor them from nothing, and the moment they reach, a lot of them reach $100,000, $200,000, and they get confused. He wants to buy this car. He's one guy, he has 5 cars. You're like, okay.
And you can't drive all of them
sometimes
at once.
Some of them have thought even that I was envious of them. I say, no, I actually have more, but there is no need for you to have
the 5 cars
or things that you don't need around you. And one of the ways to keep wealth is actually maintaining what you have. So if you have a phone, handle it so well.
Or good use.
Yeah. If you have a pair of shoes like this, taken years, look after your shoe very well, so that you don't need to buy another one. Because that's how.
That's a good way of explaining maintenance, because we think about maintaining of the money should just stay on the account and I should just see it freeze. But even what you have, because then the expenses are less.
Yes.
Because you don't have to keep buying a phone, let it drop, I'll buy another one.
Absolutely.
I can drive the car how I want, I'll drive another one.
Absolutely. We built this building, for example, over 13 years ago. But it looks fresh.
Yes.
Making it fresh. You're not bothered at trying to do other things. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So you have to maintain, even work. I mean, you've just talked about Aisha at our reception.
Yes.
She's been there for years.
So long.
Yeah, but she's one of our top assets. She's a face of our business. So if you don't maintain them, maintain yourself. That's how.
Absolutely. Oh my God. So the maintaining is even beyond just the assets, as in, tangible assets, even the people.
Yeah.
You've got to maintain the people that you work with or the people that you have. So, and you need to mention about, when you say building wealth, it's not a one-day thing.
No.
It's not a one-year thing, in fact.
No.
You've been in business for...
On my own, I'm getting 24 years old.
Imagine.
24 years as a business.
Yes.
But of course, we've diversified.
Yes.
In many aspects. Property, accommodations, to a company. We have interest in something that does meters for electricity.
Right.
We have agro-processing interests. It's beyond us now. We have an office in Rwanda. We have an office in Tanzania. We've gone into the bigger market.
Yeah.
We have ability. Actually, the challenges that we have gone through in Uganda has opened my eyes, and I'm now thinking, why didn't I even leave the country, do business earlier?
Really?
Because these challenges that we go through here, when you reach those countries, you see things that the people don't see.
Right.
Yeah, I reach there and I look at the opportunities that these guys don't see. I mean, that's why in 8 months, we've already got 4 places. We've got a place in Tarangire, got 2 places in Serengeti, and a place in Arusha. And we're developing. We're going to develop them, And we're seeing the opportunities. So that's what it is.
One of the things I like about your story is that when you were a young man in your journey to become better, because we can talk wealth and being rich and the success is down to money, but I want people to understand that even where they are, in terms of your habits, if you change them, you're on the path already. When you were telling me your story and you said how when you were a young man, you chose that, I'm going to work. Okay? These things of women, parties, drinking, smoke, we're not going to have the distractions.
Yeah.
That's a conversation people don't get mentored on because they think they have to keep up both in their lifestyle and also in their journey to making, their wealth, their success. They don't have to. You're a good testament that they don't have to.
Yeah, I think one of the things you have to, all of us come from very different backgrounds. Yeah. But everything, a lot of people will talk about rights, for example, but they will never talk about responsibility. Each of us has a responsibility over ourselves. In fact, when you go through challenges as a person, ask yourselves, what is your contribution to that challenge? If I go through a challenge in business, I ask myself, what did I do wrong and that brought out that challenge on my side? So for me, having come from extreme poverty, having gone through a children's home, and I saw how poor my parents were. I was exposed, when I came to Kampala, I was exposed to see what other people are doing. Yeah. And I knew that if I don't get rid of certain habits in my life, or I don't work against those habits in my life, it doesn't mean that I am perfect. No. I wake up every day. Yeah. I actually thank God for every day that I behave well.
Because you could possibly not behave well.
Absolutely. I have the potential like every other person.
Well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the potential.
Right.
Like everyone else.
Yeah.
Now, when I woke up at the age of 17, 16, my own mom in the village wanted me to get married. I was under children's home. I've just gone to S1. Yeah. So that I live that's how that generation.
That's how the generation was.
Yeah, that's how they thought. But she's staying in a house that is grass thatch, it's bad, her life is just bad. She didn't see it. No. But me, I thought, okay, this is something that I cannot envision doing, working against that future. Because God had given me a chance to go to a children's home, given a chance to even just attend class, through Salvation Army.
It was a privilege.
It was a privilege. After that, I said, okay, if I am not able to look after children, I am not going to engage with someone's daughter.
Yeah. Why have the children who you can't take care of?
Absolutely. So I knew that however beautiful a woman is, she doesn't eat love. No woman eats love. I know it's
so far there's no evidence that a woman has eaten love. So
we've never, there's no evidence for that. Yes. So I knew for sure, so if I indulge myself, I would have a problem. But two, if I was going to start a business, it's much easier when you're single. So I can work 18 hours without someone telling me, where have you been, the responsibilities as a child. Then the other one is that you can't start a business to have a child. It's harder to start a business when you have children and start telling children, today's no milk because I have a dream to grow Great Lake Safaris.
I'm reinvesting.
Absolutely. So I got married in my 30s, early 30s. And I'm happy I did that. So I spent all the years doing what was right. And what is right? First is skilling yourself. You see, the first thing that you look for in life is knowledge, of course. Yeah. But just having knowledge is not enough.
What can you do?
Now, when you apply that knowledge, then you call it skill, isn't it? That's what it is. When you have knowledge and you have skills, then you start being relevant to the people. Because a lot of people think, Wekesa, oh, you're just lucky that people can call you, people can do this.
Yes, yes.
You know, people have seen. For BRITAM to support our Renzori Marathon is because they've seen other things we've done.
Right.
They would have never, BRITAM would have never gotten up and said, let's support you, without understanding that the person they are supporting actually
comes with this value.
Comes with this value. It doesn't work like that. So the first is knowledge.
Yes.
Second is find ways of applying that knowledge for people to see. Then it starts attracting attention.
Right.
Then, of course, then you go to the other stage. The other stage is the ability to grow yourself in terms of networks. We are here doing this interview. It's because of my network. So when the marketing manager of BRITAM called me and said, you're going to do this interview, it's because of a network. He knows me. But also when he said, oh, it's Flavia, I said, yeah, I don't like interviews, but these are my guys. You know what I'm talking about? It's networks. So networks give you a chance then to apply your skill.
Right.
And then when the networks have given you a chance to apply your skill, the third thing comes, money. Yeah. When you follow that system, even when money goes away, you go back.
And build the same way.
And build the same way.
And you will still end up at money.
And yes. So
you shouldn't start at money.
Absolutely. You never start at money. When you start at
that's a problem also.
That's why you see people can steal money from government, organizations, whatever, and they become poor. A person can be an MP, for a long time, earning over 40 million shillings. But the moment he leaves being an MP, because generally many of them don't offer any skill.
It's we're saying that now you start with being, I'm rich.
Yes.
But then you won't build wealth.
You won't build. You don't have to understand it.
Actually, don't. Yes.
Yeah, you just don't understand. Because there's a whole process to it. So it's because when he leaves, he has no other skill to offer.
Just as the money. But the money will end because it will...
Absolutely. But then you get used to a certain lifestyle.
Yes.
And then you get used to say, I'm important. Because you're important, you have to drive a certain kind of car, you have to engage, you have to go to a certain place to eat. But as Amos, I can eat anywhere. I can go in the slum.
It's like how someone said they don't believe a workout is anywhere else but in the gym. I said, but if you walk around your neighborhood, you've exercised.
But I'm always running. That's my gym is always, I can go on the stairs and do my pressure.
And you're done.
And I'm done, and I'm good. So it's also good to go to the gym. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. So the idea for me about creation of wealth, it takes time. But even when you start making money, you still need to understand how to maintain money. Flavia, if you had...
so the formula you just gave us is to make the money. I have knowledge, I've applied it as a skill, it will always lead me to money. Even if I fail here, I can always go back to the process. But this process you just explained is not maintaining money. It's just making the money.
It's making the money.
Yes.
It's coming to the money. But you see, money is just a medium of exchange. That's what this money is all about. But the key thing, when I wake up, I never even think about money. I think about how many clients we're serving. Are they happy? It's like how we did the Renzori Marathon. All I was waiting for is what's the feedback of my client, my runners? Are they happy? Have we done a good job? That's where the real satisfaction. But saying that, okay, we have a certain amount of money on the account, it's not. It's just a by the way.
Yes.
By the way, when you understand that process, you never will be waking up every morning to think about money. You think about offering value.
Right.
And after your value, because money is an exchange for value, so you have to enjoy the value. I enjoy offering people value of coming to see our places, travel with us, enjoy my country, see our food, that's what I enjoy. But money comes.
Every one of us can offer value, right?
All of us. There's
can.
No single person. We all don't just take time to discover who we are.
Right.
You take time. If you had asked me what I wanted to be, if you asked me things I wanted to be when I was young, I wanted to be a policeman because I used to see policemen having power stopping cars. I wanted to be a pilot at one point. That was my dream. I kept changing. But it's through that gambling that you find. Then I failed in school. Then I said, okay, I failed in school. But that doesn't mean I'm stupid. It means that I just probably never paid enough attention. My strengths could be elsewhere. Then you hone that skill. You try to become the best that there is. Look at your environment. If I'm a carpenter, I should be the carpenter. A lot of people don't put in that emphasis to grow. Don't put in the character behind the skill they have. They say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That's what
it's the truth.
It's the truth. Yes. Yeah. So you work hard, you become, and around you make sure you hone your skills. The other one is also finding people that have similar paths that you want to walk. And sometimes it's not one person. They're always, because all of us are a composition of different aspects of life.
Yeah.
So like the person I look to up for marriage is not the same person I look for business.
That's true.
Yeah, and the person I look for in business might be a certain aspects of business, in marketing. Yeah,
this one has done well in marketing, so you pick that.
Absolutely, but there are people who generally have a cross section of those.
All,
yes, those become your main mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just.
Actually, I don't think anybody ever describes it that way, because I thought I was unique in what I was doing, because I keep telling people it's not like a build a bear. You're not building one human being who's perfect, because then now you're putting too much responsibility and obligation for them to mentor you, because they can't be perfect in everything.
No.
So every level has different people who can actually guide you. And I like when you talk about skilling and value, because when I think about, even in terms of talent, because the job that I do, most people would argue is about talent.
Yeah.
But I rarely remember that I do have a talent. I always remember the work that I've put in, the experience I've gained. But I'd remember I think you have a good balance of both. That's what I think.
Yes,
but my energy, like you said, when you wake up, when I wake up, I pour energy more into the hard work than I do in the, I have a talent.
Yeah.
So the talent gets mentioned halfway. They're like, okay, because you'll find that the jobs you get, for example, someone says, I hire Flavia all the time because she's on time.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody says, but she's very talented.
Yeah. But Flavia, don't forget, if you arrived on time and you're not good at what you do,
that's also a problem.
That becomes a problem. That's what I'm saying, have a
good
fine balance.
You do need the balance.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what I was, earlier on we were talking, I was talking about, say, I was giving you like Rwenzori Marathon.
Yes.
We're on this thing once every week.
Yes.
For
the whole year.
For the whole year.
Yes.
But during the marathon itself, 38 hours, I was not sleeping. People don't see that. They saw me jumping, happy, bringing people.
I want that. That's exactly what I want.
The part they want is being nice. It's
the end, actually.
Yeah, it's the end. It's the end. But it's a commitment. But also the people that support you are the people who will actually give you better opportunities. Are deep people. There is no way BRITAM will support Tascalite Rwenzori Marathon without understanding and looking deep into what we're doing, at the process in which we're involved in.
Okay.
So that's very, very critical in the whole thing. But again, we're going back to saying, even just you have gone to the third stage of money. Flavia, if you had 250,000 shillings 14 years ago, you actually had a value of $100.
Yeah.
If you had kept the 200, if you had kept the same amount of money today, one, it would have been eaten
down,
by bank costs, stuff like that, but mostly be eaten by inflation.
Yes.
Because today, if you still had the same 250 that you had 2014 in the bank, it's just about 270. It's about $70. So you've actually lost value.
Yes.
So then that's when it takes you to the next stage of saying, okay, if I had put that in an acre piece of land, or I had put that in goats and the goats reproduce, then you would have stood better chances.
A decade later to discuss.
A decade later to discuss growth. And that's where people go wrong. They think I've gotten money.
I'm good.
I am good. Yeah, money must continue to reproduce.
I'm actually more worried about getting to the rich phase, because that's a very confusing stage.
I think
when
you're
there's
there.
A bit of money.
Uganda level. Yeah, very rich. Very rich.
No, because very rich is bad.
Yeah, the word very rich.
This is where the confusion is.
Ugandans misuse the word rich. Oh yeah.
But isn't rich able to afford or sustain your lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle is, right? And you're liquid enough to go from one thing to the next, able to make choice. I feel like that is rich. I don't want us to look at dictionaries. I just want us to define as if we're talking to the person who's watching. Because if they were thinking rich, if I said to everyone watching, think of the word rich, the number that comes to mind, they'll have a number.
My definition of rich is impact.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm employing through all our businesses, maybe 300 people, or 400 people, I think if I employ 6,000,
you're now rich.
I think I'll feel I'm rich.
Very rich.
Yeah. The impact on 6,000 people.
Yes.
That is what I would call wealth. Because I've just told you that one day I woke up, I have $50,000, I'm confused. on my account.
What
That's
do
like
I do?
18 years ago. Why am I not having the appetite? Why am I sleeping on one bed? I near almost just left. Stop doing what I was doing.
Money can confuse a person.
Absolutely. But something that came to me was God just, I think, revealed something in my life and said, you know what? Do you know the people you're employing? That they're able to pay school fees, that they're able to eat, they're able to do this. Then I started thinking, yeah, today I wake up every morning, Flavia, here, just because of the...
So you're saying you got to a point where, when you look at the money at in the bank, it was like, it's almost like if it was just up to you, your purpose would have stopped.
Yes.
Right? Because
completely.
the money is there.
Absolutely.
And I'm here.
Absolutely.
We're both here, so what's the point?
Absolutely.
Why am I waking up the next day?
Yes.
But you now have to look for the thing that would then keep going, where the money wasn't the only thing that mattered.
Yes.
Which is now the people. So you keep the business going, not for money, because that you passed.
Yes.
Now for the people whose lives you impact.
Absolutely. And I see our team really appreciated so much during COVID. Because there was no income. No income. But we paid them.
Yeah.
To survive throughout the time.
Yes.
We're able to keep our staff, right? As over 90% of our staff were kept.
Yeah.
And they could come and appreciate. Many of our friends have been thrown out. They don't have jobs. They don't have, ways of getting resources.
Yeah.
So every day I wake up, I'm not thinking. I mean, I have a few things I do outside tourism.
Yeah.
That look after my bill. My life is a very affordable life. When I eat a sugar cane, I've walked or run 15 kilometers, I am okay.
You know, someone said that when you don't have money, you're hungry every 1 hour.
Yeah.
Everything smells like food, you know? But when you have money in your pockets, you're like, Pampea Mazi, the water will do. Because there's no hunger.
But it's true.
But it's a mindset. Is it true?
Have you ever heard of a rural appetite?
That's what
it's because you come with hunger.
Everything looks like food.
But that's why I'm always asking myself, why?
But before you bite into a sugar cane, you're like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. And you're genuinely good, though.
Yeah, very.
Yes.
I'm actually extremely happy.
You're depressing people who are watching this.
I know.
No, but I think I'm wondering whether if I'm on my journey to now do the rich, which is being liquid or getting to some point, should I also be putting a few things in measure or in line to build the wealth? Should I be thinking for both conversations? Because if I'm trying to survive, to pay fees, to pay rent, then I get there and I didn't think about building wealth, I have to go back like you to think of, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But for someone who's not going to make the same maybe mistake as you, are you telling them they should think of both journeys when they're starting?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, like I've said, it's impact. But the first impact you must have is impact on yourself.
Okay.
You should be able to afford your basics. You can't give what you don't have in life.
That's true.
And you see, it's like Rwenzori Marathon. People are saying, so what's the... we have an NGO mindset. What cause? I said, no.
I
said, this is a business that is actually taking business to a community.
Okay.
Are we clear about that?
That's honest, because people rarely want to show that they are monetizing things.
No, this is a purely business that's actually creating business for a community.
It's a ripple effect.
But already last year, research shows that we left in Fort Portal, Kasese, or whatever, over 10 billion shillings in the last year's marathon. This year's marathon, the statistics haven't come out yet, but we're estimating 25 billion that has been left in those economies.
Yes.
So I would never earn that money, but the community has earned the money.
Yes.
People, the accommodations, the petrol stations, the people who are feeding other people. It's crazy. I mean, today I've just been on a Kasese forum, people are discussing still the impact on them from the...
Okay. So impact then starts the conversation on the wealth journey, the longevity, the long-term effects.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to talk to the people who, because there's individuals and then there's businesses. There's somebody who's creating that wealth for themselves. Of course, maybe later they'll get a family and everything. But they're younger. Then there's someone who has a business or who has assets, and then they have a family and they're creating. It's beyond them, just like you.
Yeah.
It's beyond them. There's that first, when your lens is smaller, when you first think of your stomach, like you were thinking.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, I'm hungry. You say Amos must eat.
Yeah.
Then Amos's family must eat.
Pay rent.
Then after Amos's family, other people come in.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So it's not selfish to first start with yourself.
It's actually a good thing.
To start with yourself.
You have a call to yourself.
First.
To make sure that your basics can be met. There is no way you can meet other people's needs when you cannot meet your own. It's not sustainable.
You can try it, but it's not sustainable.
Absolutely, you're going nowhere. You're going deep. You're going to fail.
Yes.
And now, Then you reach a stage where you are sustaining others after you have created this.
Yes.
Through a business, you're sustaining others, suppliers, all these clients, sustains you even more.
It brings back the money. It creates that, now that's wealth.
Yes, that's great. That's a stage of wealth.
You're not even in the process.
No, yes.
The process is itself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But that takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. The problem is that you're going to think life must be like instant coffee. Yeah.
Yes.
Today I've woken up and I have all the money that I need. And that's why many Ugandans get so confused.
Right.
The other one is our dreams are very small as a people. And I always tell people Uganda has 3 problems or challenges. One is that we have overly available food.
Too much food.
Yeah.
We're not hungry enough.
Yeah. It's not an empty stomach that can actually inspire a person.
Yeah.
Because hunger is personal.
You just told us.
It's not community.
An empty stomach woke you up.
Absolutely.
You can't have, you say, how can I not have meat for it? Yeah?
Then good weather. Then ignorance is also bliss. So we don't know what's happening around us. Other countries, we're not exposed to what other people are actually doing. That's the biggest. The
uncle in the family who has money is the richest person we know.
Absolutely.
And our measure of wealth is uncle so-and-so.
Absolutely. And sometimes, by the way, it's a car.
Okay. So we don't even know what they have.
That guy. Some guy is a bicycle. Some guys is a phone. That guy carries an expensive phone. He's actually rich. So it is, and that brings a problem. And even I can say that
illusion,
still go back and eat. I can, you know what? But when you're exposed to knowledge, then you understand that countries grow because of enterprises. You know, if you look at every country that has grown, that country has people who do things that will go beyond them.
Yes.
You know, Flavia, when you wake up, the most unselfish person in life is the one who wakes up and builds a building like this when he knows he would die and leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a sign of unselfish.
Although, I mean, to be honest, I probably was very selfish until I got children. I won't lie. I always say me. Until
but it was a stage.
Yes. I was much younger. But now I keep wanting everything to be better, because it's not about me. It's what their generation will use, will find, will touch, you know. I care about the people in society because those are the people they'll be with, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I understand.
But that's why you teach. That's why I teach.
Yes.
That's why I share. Yes. That's why I have a Friday market day.
Yeah.
I want them to be wealthy, but also it comes back to me.
Yes.
Life has taught me many things. One of the things that I learned, many years ago I would have so many, even now I have trainees. I get university kids and train them. We give them a chance to give them a platform. We even give them some small allowance for training with us. My thinking then was that one day, when my child is looking for an opportunity, they will say that guy's father gave me an opportunity.
Right.
But it was bigger than that. When we started building lodges, many of the tour companies have people like that person you have just told me, those people.
Yeah.
When they have clients for Shibari National Park, their first priority is primate lodge. Yeah. So it comes back to me. I invested in them, and they're investing back in me. So
the wealth journey isn't just about multiplying money or the sustainability of money. It's the people, it's the environment around you. It's the things that will give that butterfly effect over time.
Yes.
That will come back to you.
That will come back.
So you're not going to say, I have my 2 billion, let me go and put it here and I'll become wealthy in 2 years. No. Because it's much more than just the money you're
cash,
holding. It's the people around you, it's the business, it's a sector you'll be operating in. Someone said you may have all the money and the neighbors where you operate can't stand you, and they keep blocking the road for your clients to get there. And you're thinking, but I have a very good building, I have a good service to offer. But something as small as blocking the road to your gate, clients can't access. And
you're giving me a very proper example. Yeah? So there used to be boda stage up here.
Yeah.
So I would go down there and buy maize, and we sit on the roadside and eat with the boda guys. So they tell me one day one guy wanted to come and spoil our signpost at the corner.
Yes.
The guy was beaten up.
But they become your own policing of
Absolutely, because I would have then spent money on a... But you see, I spent money on cassava. On
maize.
On maize.
But you see the things we don't think about. Because even me in coming to talk about wealth, I thought it would just be, so the money then you have multiplied like that. I did not consider all these factors. That even today, I'm probably already on my wealth journey because of the network I have.
Absolutely.
Because of the people I know. Yeah. Because of the seeds I have planted.
Yes.
That instead of me thinking about cash, I've already
No, your networks. Yeah, you see, the thing with you have a talent. You have knowledge which you can actually apply.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're good at engaging with people.
Yeah.
So that those people then give you an opportunity to apply your knowledge. It will be it's sustainable. There's no way you can go hungry.
Right.
It's extremely very sustainable. But I think the other thing that we also did as a business was after I discovered that, I needed to understand if anything went wrong in a whole year and I had no business, how much money would I need to pay salaries, pay bills, pay whatever, look after ourselves. So we started, just for argument's sake, so we started with $5,000.
Okay.
So at one point you would find us, we'd have 5,000.
Yeah, a buffer.
Anything beyond 5,000, we invested in a medium-term or long-term stuff. So we bought land or bought stuff like that.
Right.
And that's why I was saying that a lot of investments we did. I mean, we went to places like Sisa, Kasanje, those places. We're buying land at Neka 2 million shillings. We were buying, now it's in hundreds, millions, you know. They were doing that when 17, 18 years ago.
Right.
We went to 50,000 because as a company grows,
of course, the buffer has to also
the higher you go, the harder you fall if you're not very careful.
Yes.
So then we had that. So we'd buff it maybe 50,000. We went 500,000, like that.
Is that emergency fund we're talking to people? I mean, how can you sustain your life each month? That thing, put it away for maybe 6 months period.
Yes.
Of course, for a business, it changes as well, but it's the same concept, quote unquote. It's an emergency that can hold you.
It's the same.
Worst case scenario.
Actually, we apply that across board. Even in Rwenzori Marathon. If BRITAM, for example, who is our partner, said we're going to give you money 3 months later.
Yes.
We could still survive. We can.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why they will have confidence with us. We can pay our bills out there, you know. And but we can also would have chosen to buy a latest car. Yeah.
To prove you are very rich.
Yeah, to prove I'm rich. Yeah. I would have changed from my 24-year-old car to another car.
Yeah.
So that helps you in terms of growing your wealth.
Okay.
It helps you. You say, as a family, we need 10. If you also, I'm giving different examples. If a family will also need a buffer resources.
Yes.
Business will need a buffer. A business is actually different from the owner.
Yes.
Actually, a business is a social good. Have you ever thought about that?
It's like proper CSR but with profit.
Yeah. It's actually a social good because it employs public.
People, yes.
It has suppliers, public.
Yes.
It does things that help public.
Yeah.
If you have this building here, it adds on the value of this whole area. This whole area adds the value of a nation. They say a poor country is a summation of poor individuals. A rich country is a summation of rich individuals. So if a person around you gets wealthy, he contributes to the betterment of the country. And the other thing is that when you work hard, because I know this is one of the challenges Ugandans have. When you work hard, as Tumusima, you get yourself from what you get yourself from having become a national burden. Yeah. So that when you get sick, you're actually going to a private hospital because you can. When your child goes to not a UPE school, you become a national asset because you have removed yourself from being a dependent.
Yes.
So you reduce the amount of dependence on government.
You better yourself, the government says thank God.
Yes. Then you better yourself, you become good. Then you better others, you even become even more.
The family around you, the community around you, and the ripple effect goes on. You have done really well in moving the wealth and the money and the assets, even the information from yourself down to even your children. And that's the conversation I want to have next.
Meet Moses. He invests in dollars, but here's the smart part. His dollars don't just sit there. They're out there making more dollars for him. He can take a break, but make or break, his dollars never rest. They're out there hustling for him 24/7, even when he's asleep, halfway through his dreams. Save your dollars with BRITAM Easy Earner Dollar and earn competitive interest in 3, 6, and 12 months. Call us today on 0312 305 600 or email clientservicesug@britam.com and let more dollars start rolling in.